Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago. Michael? Halloween.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. I think he'll come back.
Exploring uncharted territory.
Totally charted.
Just talk.
Sure. The only reason she babysits is to have
Halloween.
Okay, come on out.
Halloween. The night he came home.
Halloween from 1978 is a slasher horror movie from director John Carpenter, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Nick Castle, and Donald Pleasant, respectively. The film is about Michael Myers, an escaped mental patient who targets teenagers in his hometown of Haddonfield, Illinois. The film opens when Michael is a child, about 6 years old, and he stabs his older sister to death, and is then committed to a mental health institute by the name of Smith Grove Sanitarium. The film then cuts to 15 years later, when he is due to stand trial at the courthouse. His psychiatrist, Dr. Samuel Loomis, portrayed by Donald Pleasant, arrives to pick Michael up. However, Michael escapes by stealing Loomis's car and returns back to his hometown of Haddonfield. The next day, which is Halloween, we cut to Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, who is making her way about doing her daily business in the town. She goes to high school with her friends, and throughout the day she is being stalked by Michael Myers, although at first unaware. However, Laurie does notice his presence at some point, and tells her friends, although they dismiss her and tell her not to worry, and say it's just some prank. Later that night, Michael ends up killing most of Laurie's friends, resulting in a confrontation with Laurie herself. In the struggle, Laurie manages to stab and injure Michael, temporarily knocking him down. However, he is an unstoppable force and soon gets back up. It is while confronting Michael that she allows 2 children, who she's babysitting, to escape the house and get help. While running from the house, Loomis notices the kids and decides to investigate. Upon entering the house, he sees Michael and shoots him 6 times in the chest, causing him to fall out of the balcony. When Loomis goes to investigate, he finds Michael has vanished, and then comforts a distraught Laurie Strode, and then we cut to the credits. The film is paced beautifully and is almost like a 2-act structure. The first act is very much during the day, from Michael's point of view, stalking each one of his victims, being quite menacing throughout, and then the latter half is more of a typical slasher film where Michael kills characters we'll come to know throughout the film. Some of the kills are really great and quite graphic in places, especially the scene where Michael is disguised as a boyfriend by dressed as a ghost. That death is quite brutal to watch. And also the confrontation with Laurie at the end of the film is also quite brutal. It's very violent, the way she has to defend herself. It's quite terrifying. You feel generally afraid for this character. Jamie Lee Curtis is definitely the standout role in this film. Her performance as Laurie Strode is great. She does a believable job of being the concerned babysitter and loyal friend, as well as true heroine in the movie to stand up to Michael and protect the children. Nick Castle as Michael Myers does a good job of stalking and being creepy throughout the film, lingering in the background of shots, and generally being a very menacing presence throughout. And of course, Donald Pleasant's performance as Dr. Loomis is also equally good. You really feel that he is a determined psychiatrist who will do anything to stop Michael, no matter what cost. Overall, I think Halloween is still a classic movie, definitely worth a watch. It has some good kills, but the scares in this film are all about the stalking and the menacing from Michael Myers throughout the film. He's definitely a more terrifying and believable movie villain. Halloween then was so successful it kick-started the slasher genre throughout the 1980s. And it's still one of the most popular slasher movies to this date. And of course I had to watch Halloween on Halloween Day. I'm going to rate this one a 8 out of 10, just because it kick-started the slasher genre phrase. It's still an original story, the acting is pretty good throughout, the kills are okay, but the camera work and direction are really great, so therefore it knocks a few points up in my opinion. I like the way the camera stalks throughout the film, acting as Michael's eyes, so you're not quite sure who is going to be the next target and when. Well, that does conclude my 31 days challenge. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. There will be one more video where I will discuss my thoughts, opinions and what I would change going forward. But I had a good time making this series and it was fun for the most part. So thank you for watching and happy Halloween!